Peace and blessings, people. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. What it do, what it do, what it do. Man, this is your boy, Azakar, bringing you flame. You already know, homie. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. You be left in that loop every time your boy drop it. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. It is Sunday, March the 19th. Man, it's about 25 degrees outside. Yeah, it's pretty nippy, pretty nippy. 6:11 Central Time. It's cold and Mickey Ficky. Cold and Mickey Ficky. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Shout out to the black YouTube out there. It be Ticket TV, Carcino, Kwame Brown, the League Attorney, J.R. Wisdom, Mr. Palmer, Too Raw for Sports, Too Raw for TV, the Professor B1 of Truth. Yo, man, I love these YouTube brothers, man. They bring the flame. They bring the flame every time on the YouTube streets. You're gonna be edified. You're gonna learn something. You better believe that. Please believe it. Please believe it. Please believe it. So once again, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. And oh, yeah, HBO. Help a brother out. Hit that Cash App. Hit that PayPal. That is Musa Azakar, Cash App. Musa Azakar, PayPal. Holla at your boy. So let's go ahead and cook. Boy, you know what I'm saying, boy? Hey, boy. I love being black, man. It's just something about the aura. Something about the struggle, because the struggle is so good. I say, boy, the struggle is good. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Well, man, I got this off my little Google feed, and I hope you're going to be edified by this information I'm giving you. Though it's not really something to put on a pedestal, but it's something just to have some great knowledge of, to be debatable about. Especially if you want to talk amongst people who like to live in a fictional land, fictional world, you know. Especially in the black fictional world. You know, TV shows, heroes, villains. Well, right now we got the top black villains in TV and movies. The gangsters. So can we roll with it? There are many iconic black gangster characters, but this list is reserved for those who are not only ruthless, but savvy, well, brilliant. Oftentimes, their intelligence led to their arrogance, which ultimately led to their downfall. But what if they decide to pursue something else in their life of crime? What if they used it to intellect for good? Oh, yeah, right. Let's go. Starting off, one of the hardest black criminals on TV. Stringer Bell from The Wire. Doo-doo-doo. The Wire, the greatest TV show of all time. In Baltimore, you have to be ruthless and cunning. While Stringer Bell was those things, he was also infatuated with more than just business side of things. He tried to make legitimate money outside the drug game. He even took a microeconomics class. He took what he learned and applied it to his drug dealing business. If he never died off the show, he'd become a major legitimate player in the real estate business. In the show, he attempted to bring Avon Barksdale into the real estate game, which eventually led to their relationship eroding. Dun, 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 dun. Breaking Bad. Gustavo Fringe. One of the greatest TV villains in TV history. Anything Arsenio Garcalo especially touches is gold. His most iconic role was Gustavo Fringe in Breaking Bad. He was everything you want in a villain to be: cunning, brilliant, resourceful, and just flat out scary. He owned a fried chicken restaurant chain and used it as a front to start a drug dealing business. So, if he had focused solely on his chicken restaurant, who knows? Who knows how big he could have made it? He definitely could have given Popeyes a run for his money. Dun, 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 dun. Marilyn Madame DeVille, all the Queen's men. Madame is a businesswoman who rules the nightclub industry in Atlanta. She uses all her skills and connections to make sure she stays at the top of her game, even if others attempt to take her down. With her connections and influence, she can become the Miss Mayor of the city. All right, I hear you. I hear you. Uh-oh, now we gotta go to Snoop from The Wire. Snoop is arguably the most frightening character in The Wire, taking out anybody Marlo asked her to. But she was also extremely savvy and also learning to learn. In opening scene of season 4, while shopping for a nail gun, she learned about all the equipment she would need in the best version of the nail gun to get the job done. It was a larger representation of how characters in the show were willing to learn and if it benefited the lifestyle they were living in. If she wasn't in Marlo's crew, she possibly could become an FBI agent or a Secret Service. Oh, God, this is brutal, brutal. Bubba Johnson, Godfather of Harlem. Dum, 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 dum. Based on a real gangster, Bubba Johnson had no choice but to be smart with his moves. He was a black crime boss operating during the early to mid-20th century. He was also a man of extremely generous to the people of his community. Instead of being a crime symbol, he could have become a local politician. Right. Frank Lucas, American Gangster. Dun, 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 dun. Also based on a real-life gangster. Frank Lucas was able to smuggle heroin directly from Vietnam on planes returning from Vietnam War. Beloved in the community, Lucas was also charismatic and smooth, an individual who could convince anyone to do anything. He had been an expert as salesman, running a company as big as Apple, also like a black Steve Jobs. He could have been doing that. Could y'all imagine Frank Lucas being like Steve Jobs? For real though. Proposition Joe from The Wire, the king of Baltimore on the east side. Proposition Joe was one of the most quotable characters in the show. He also is one of the ones who started a co-op in the city to make sure that all the dealers in the city get the best dope to sell. This man could be an agent, lawyer of any profession where the deals could be made. His name Proposition Joe, for crying out loud. Come on now. Come on now. Franklin Saint Snowfall. Franklin Sneer started a 19-year-old convenience store worker, became the most notorious and powerful drug kingpin in South Central Los Angeles. That takes being extremely smart and savvy. He's young and motivated, and if he wasn't in the drug game, he'd become an entrepreneur, creating a product that would benefit his community instead of hurting it. Oh, now this right here tripped me out. I didn't know until I had to really look at it now. Since this really brought this to the for the forefront, I would have thought of it. But yes, Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor from Superman the Animated Series. Oh, he was a brother. If you paid attention to his complexion, he was a brother. Yes, I know the version of Lex Luthor were white. But in the animated series, he was the coolest brother on the show. The man was the CEO of his own company and consistently outsmarted the strongest man in the universe. Of course, he is a genius. He's a genius. Marlo, The Wire. Out of all the drug dealers who were the crown in Baltimore, Marlo by far was the most ruthless and cold-blooded. But don't get it twisted. It was his smarts that got him into the top, taking out the necessary competition to make sure he stayed number one. Someone as cutthroat as Marlowe could have easily been the founder of a CEO of a rap label or a record company. True that. Veronica Rawlins, Widows. An underrated film in Viola Davis' amazing filmography. In this film, Rawlins and 3 other plans to steal millions of dollars from the local corrupted politician. Naturally, Davis' character comes up with a brilliant plan to get the job done. In the movie, she and a teachers union delegate in Chicago, but she wanted to become a politician herself. If she wanted to, she could have done that. She could have done that. 9 Ball, Ocean's 8. This might be a reach, but I just have a lot of fun with this movie. Rihanna plays a master hacker who knows how any and everything that has to do with technology. With their help, the crew of 8 women is able to pull off a major heist during the most famous Met Gala. 9 Ball has the smarts to work for any tech company she wants to. Ooh, okay. Ghost for Power. Another gangster that had potential. Fans are still waiting for Ghost to return to the Power series. He is the most polarizing character in the show. He's the owner of the hottest club in New York and also one of the biggest crime bosses. If he hasn't raised his life in crime, he could have just ran the nightclub game and made lots of money from that. He'd also still be alive. Avon Barksdale, The Wire, the original king of Baltimore. Even though he famously said, "I'm just a gangster," I suppose Avon still was able to outsmart other gangsters and be more. At the end of season 3, he outsmarted his best friend and right man, Stringer Bell, which ultimately led to both of their downfall in the show. Before he was a drug dealer, Avon was a talented boxer. In another universe, possibly Avon becomes a brilliant boxing agent. Never know. Never know. Kanan from Power. Ho, 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 ho. In the show, Kanan was a former mentor of Ghost. So it only makes sense that he's just an intelligent, considering he taught him a lot of what he knows about the crime world. Kanan was raised in a family of gangsters. But if things were different, he could have been raised as someone who protected people and not just someone who took people out. Hell, he could have become a professional wrestler or MMA fighter, you know. Could you imagine Kane playing an MMA fighter? Never know the potential. Tariq St. Patrick from Power. Oh, boy. The son of Ghost made a lot of mistakes during his criminal journey, but he proved to be just as intelligent as his father, even if he's naive at times. Similar to his father, Tariq has the experience to become an owner of his business or club. He's currently in college, so he decides to walk away from the crime life. The world is his oyster. Brother Monsoon from The Wire. Brother Monsoon was a quiet monster. He didn't say much, but when he did, it was always profound. Oftentimes in the show, you can see him reading a book. Since he loves books so much, he could easily become a professor at a major university or could have taught history. Too bad he was too worried about murder and drug dealers. Marcel Dumas, Queen of the South. This Creole crime boss was part of New Orleans' criminal underworld. But thanks to his connection to the Queen of the South, he was able to become a legitimate businessman. So unlike many other characters on this list, we can see his potential. Wow, that was the most ruthless black gangsters on TV and film. I hope y'all enjoyed that Yahoo article. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. I'll pin that link in the description box. Like, share, subscribe. Holla at your boy, Musa Azakar. Peace.
He has not been able to break my spirit. They hate Farrakhan. What you hate me for? I don't rob nobody. I don't steal. I don't lie. I don't fornicate. I'm not a homosexual. I don't countenance dope. I clean people up from that. Why you don't like me? because I met the one who would consume you with the spirit of his mouth on the brightness of his coming. I don't represent God will come. Hell no. When you see a black man, listen to me good. Listen. When you see a black man stand up in the most powerful government on earth and speak as I speak and walk as I walk and live as I live and don't care nothing about that enemy, then you ought to know God is not to come. God is already present. He's here. He's in the world. That's the good news. That's the glad tidings.